Hello, how are you? I hope you're good. Welcome to another one of those super chill, very low-key reviews of some of the books that are coming out in June of 2018. Grab yourself a drink so you can chill with me. I have water. It looks like I might have tea, but it's just water. Have my laptop so we can go ahead and go see what is coming out. I'll actually try and link all of these books that I mentioned down below as well, so you can easily find them on Goodreads and mark them if you want to read them. Let's go get into it. So firstly, I want to mention that one of my best friends is releasing the book this month, so like of course I have to mention it. I don't know if it's good, it might be completely crap. Hey AJ. I mean, I'm hoping it's good. Depends on the person who's reading it, am I right? So it's called Blood Ties, and I asked him to sort of tell me what it is about, like in his own words. From what I understood, it's like a fantasy murder mystery, and like only that just sort of got me because I like murder mysteries and I like fantasies. So I was debating it. Like, it's a very weird situation when you're thinking about reviewing your friend's book, especially if it's like a really good friend, because you obviously want to support them as much as you can, but I would never rely on the channel if I didn't like the book. So, but me and AJ are very honest with each other, so after having a conversation, he said that regardless of what I thought about it, he wouldn't be offended. So if I really hate it, you'll know about it, guys. Hats off to him though, because I don't know, I think I would just rather he not read anything that I write, because I'm too sensitive for this shit. This is why he will always be a better writer than I am. That and that I don't write. One day though, one day. But yeah, this is about a girl. Now excuse me if I'm like wrong in any way, but this I think is gonna be a trilogy, and this is about a girl named Ella who is a blood witch of a king. And then there's a murder within that kingdom. A powerful stone mage is murdered. On the eve of vast renovations in the city, Ella sees it as her opportunity to find the killer and finally prove herself. So there's this tension in the city between royals, rebels, and citizens, and I think it all depends on whether Ella or not can like solve this mystery that I'm assuming was some sort of trigger for this tension. I don't know too much about it, like of any other books on the list, but this book comes out on June 22nd. I'm very excited for it now that we clarified that I will be reading it. I did read AJ's short story, so I'm not going in like entirely blind, and I really did enjoy his writing style, and I believe that I can be really objective when it comes to reading books, so fingers crossed I like it. But regardless, I am so proud of him for actually going ahead and publishing this, and I know that the second book in the series is gonna come out really soon after this. So this one's coming out on June 22nd. I think the next one is planned to be released in August, so fairly soon. So if you do want to grab this on, and if you like it, then you don't have to wait too long until the next one. But yeah, I'm so proud of AJ, and I really hope that the book is welcomed into the fantasy world. I don't know, I'm just a very proud friend here. Moving on, the second book to the Flame in the Mist is coming out on the 5th of June, and it's called Smoke in the Sun. This is by Renée Ahdieh. I've heard very mixed reviews on that one. It was sort of advertised to be a retelling of Mulan, and Mulan is one of my favorite Disney movies and a story, and then I think maybe that expectation got a bit. It does have the average rating of 4 stars at the moment, so that's high. There's only 130 ratings, so keep that in mind. But if you read The Flame in the Mist and you liked it, then the second one comes out on the 5th of June. Then we have this book that's called Always Forever Maybe. This is a story about first love in a case where the girl goes like head over heels for a boy, and you know how first love can be really extreme. And it's about the tension between this girl and her best friend, because she starts hiding what's happening in her relationship because the boy is actually abusive to her. So this definitely has a trigger warning for abuse, emotional or physical. I'm not sure, maybe both, I don't know. Some of the reviews, it seems like some people found it very important, some people found it quite lacking, or a little bit lazy. A lot of people found it very intense and important, so it's up to you if you want to look into this more or not, but do keep in mind, again, trigger warning. I think there's gonna be a lot of trigger warnings for this month. So yeah, 5th of June, current rating is 3.6 out of 71 ratings. Then we have Now You See Her. This is by Lisa Layton. and currently stands at 3.9 from 14 ratings, so not that many. And it's coming out on the 26th of June. I think this is about a girl who seems to have it all. It's like Instagram perfect life. It actually says that. I'm not just using this term because I'm a millennial, okay? So it actually has that term. Her car breaks down and the guy stops by, and she thought that he's gonna help her, but instead he's trying to abduct her, and then she runs into the street and gets hit by a car, wakes up in another person's body. So it's actually like a body swap type of situation, which I used to be such a trash for like movies when these will swap bodies. It's still like a very soft spot for me. Like I will watch that even though I know it's crap. So it intrigued me because of that. But and then she's trying to get back into her body, obviously, because that's the point, solving some mystery about how her mother's secret past is like connected to all this. So that's an interesting one. I think the genres include young adult, mystery, and contemporary, so it's a very an odd cookie. It comes out on the 26th of June. Check it out if you fancy. Then we have a book called The Mermaid. It's by Christina Henry, and this one is currently at 4.13 stars, and I believe this is a mermaid retelling. However, it's with like a darker twist where this girl comes out of the sea and live in the real world, but is put into this American museum. I think she had like a deal with the guy who put her in, and she thinks that she can leave whatever she wants, but she can't. And I think it gets like quite dark, and from some of the comments that I saw, I think they say that this mermaid is very feisty, and it's very like, it has a very different vibe to the other mermaid retellings, and it was quite intense again. It's this historical fiction, fantasy, mythology, mermaids, and it's an adult book. If you're into that kind of stuff, there's this one, and it's coming out on the 19th of June. Then there's the Book of M, which was a really interesting setting, I thought. I don't know how good this book is, like, of course, I don't know, I haven't read any of these, like, you know this. But it currently stands at 4.42 stars from 151 ratings, and it's a science fiction, and it's a dystopia. It's classed under science fiction, fantasy, and dystopias, and this is about a world where people lose their shadows and then get some weird magical powers. It doesn't actually specify, I don't think, but it comes with a cause of losing all of their memories, and some sort of dangers are attracted to your person. And this is about a couple who start hiding from all of this shenanigan that people are losing their shadows, and then something happens. They call it The Forgetting, which is a name of another book. The author is called Peng Shepherd. It has fairly good reviews, I have to say, and it just seems like quite intriguing in concept, and people say that it's one of the strangest things they've ever read, and to me that is appealing. Some people are praising her for writing beautiful different multiple point of views. Then there's this women's fiction book called Before and Again by Barbara Delinsky. This one has a high rating, although it does have some bad reviews. It's currently at 4.19. It comes out on the 26th of June, which is the day that a lot of books are coming out apparently. If I'm looking down, it's because I'm reading from the laptop. I thought you guys knew, but I thought I'll mention it again. So this is about a woman who gets into a car accident. Car accident seems to be like a theme this month, because she glances at the GPS. A fun fact, apparently currently when you go for a driving license, you actually have to use GPS while taking the test, which I thought was a fun fact. When I had to do that, it wasn't the case, but that was also like 8 years ago. Wow, I'm old. Anyway, so yeah, she gets into an accident and she loses her family and her daughter, and then on top of that she gets into the news to make out of like an example, like, I don't know, against GPS, I suppose, I don't know. And so she has to change her name and move away because she just lost all of her privacy and stuff like that. So she moves away and she lives under a different name, and then and it says, when a friend's teenage son is thrust into the national spotlight, accused of hacking a powerful man's Twitter account, Maggie is torn between pulling away and protecting herself, or stepping into the glare to be at their side. Yeah, it seems to be split between people who really didn't like it and people who rated 5 stars and like really gushing about it. People are saying it's an extremely well-written story. Crying was involved for some of them. Then we have a non-fiction book that's called Spying on Whales the past, present, and future of Earth's most awesome creatures. I just thought I'll throw that in there, that if you're really into whales and you just like whales, you know how sometimes we just like one type of animal and very interests us, that there's a book coming out on the 26th again of June all about the whales. So there's that. Then there is a mythology book that is called Orope or Orope. This is gonna be like when I pronounce Cersei, circle. That one is like it has like an Ouroboros on the cover. Is called The White Snake, and it's actually, I think, one of the most interesting aspects of this particular book is that it's a fantasy, but it's set in the Bronze Age instead of just medieval times that we all read so many times. Other than that, there's like gods and beasts that lurk in the dark, and I'm not entirely even certain what this is actually about. In one of the reviews it says that it's heavily influenced by both ancient Egypt and pre-Columbian American people, and that they really enjoyed how this book immersed them into the world fairly quickly. It's a debut novel by Genevieve Lee. I'm gonna click that as to read because it sounds amazing. I don't know much about it, but like sometimes I don't need to. The Orope one is coming out on the 5th of June. And then the next one a lot of people are aware of because a lot of people are like really looking forward to it, and I really need to get into this trilogy. Is it a trilogy? I think it's a trilogy. It's by Sabaa Tahir, and it's the 3rd book in the Ember Quartet. Also maybe it's a 4th book series. And it's called A Reaper at the Gates. I've been seeing this being promoted everywhere because maybe it's been a while since the last one. I'm not sure. But people are really liking it. The ones that haven't read before and started like recently, all of the good things about it. And yeah, it's coming out on the 12th of June. I don't know what this series is even about. I know it's like a fantasy. That's all I know. And I obviously don't want to read the synopsis of this one because then I'm sure I would get spoiled a bit. Then we have a mystery thriller adult suspense contemporary book. It's by B.A. Paris. And it's called Bring Me Back. It's currently a 3.75 out of 5,000, almost 6,000 ratings. That's a lot of ratings. Maybe it's a popular author. I don't know, I wouldn't know. This is about a young British couple that stop for gas, and the guy goes to pay for the gas, and the girl's sitting in the car. And when he comes back, the girl is missing, and he hasn't seen her for 10 years. And then fast forward those years, he's now with her sister, I think, and then she holds like one day, and they're like engaged and happy, and one day he comes back and he sees her holding some little piece of a thing that would only mean something to them, and it's like a psychological thriller about who's messing with his head and like if she comes back or not. I don't know, but it says in the comments, well, the ratings, that this was an extremely suspenseful book and that it played with their like guesses and stuff. So the reviews are actually pretty. It seems like it's in a packed book, so if you're looking for a thriller, that could be good. Then if you also read My Lady Jane, which I am planning on reading this summer, I think, the second one is coming out on the 26th of June, and that is called My Plain Jane. So there's that as well. Then there is a book that I honestly just couldn't understand what it's about, so oh well. But I clicked on it because the cover intrigued me, and it has this like panther or creature walking, and it's called Florida by Lauren Groff, and I believe it's set in Florida because people said that she really got the feel of Florida in the book correctly. I think it's a short story collection, so if you're interested in Florida, that could be for you. Then we have a mystery thriller again by Anthony Horowitz. It's called The Word is Murder, and this is about a woman who gets strangled, trigger alert, 6 hours after she's arranged her own funeral, and this is a very private detective uncovering secrets but hiding his own, and reluctant author drawn into a story he can't control. What do they have in common? Unexpected death, an unsolved mystery, and a trial of bloody clues lie at the heart of Anthony Horowitz's page-turning new thriller. It's currently sat at 4 stars and out of almost 3,000 ratings, so that's pretty decent. And lastly, something super exciting, I think. I'm not the biggest fan of short stories, but I think this book sounds really cool because this was compiled by We Need Diverse Books movement company, I'm not sure, but it's all by the authors of different background and different culture, and I think it's really cool. I think it's all fantasy short stories. It says 15 best-selling and acclaimed authors reimagine the folklore and mythology of East and South Asia in short stories that are by turns enchanting, heartbreaking, romantic, and passionate. It's called 1,000 Beginnings and Endings, and it's currently at 4.25, and I'm definitely clicking one to read because I think it's brilliant. Amongst the authors, if you want to know, are Renée Ahdieh, Sona Cherry-Potra. I'm gonna butcher every single one of these. Preeti Chibber, Roshani Chokshi. You know what, instead of trying to read this, I'm just gonna pop the list here because I don't want to set myself up like that. It's like, it's easy prey here. And that is coming out on June 26th, so I'm super excited about that. And that was the last one that I thought I'll mention this month. There's plenty of more things coming out on June, but these are the things that either caught my eye or I just happened to click on, and probably some I don't have interest in, but this is what the video is for, so I might not mention otherwise if I don't make these videos. So sorry I missed on the last one. It just sort of happened that I didn't film one for me, but it's fine. But yeah, that is everything. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and found it informative on like a tiny scale. Let me know if you're interested in any of these books. Let me know if there's something coming out in June that I forgot to mention or just didn't see, I'm not aware of, and you feel like I should be. So let me know down below. I always look forward to these comments. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. Stay awesome, stay kind, and I'll see you next time. Bye!